I lied yesterday. So yesterday I told a lot of people that I tend to go live on an evening between 7 and 8 p.m. But today I've got a little bit of spare time and I'm just making some little essential oil rollers up. So what's in here? I've got a few drops of frankincense and then I've topped it up with grapeseed oil. Only the best Mia Aroma grapeseed oil. And yeah, so these are going to be, eventually I'll be working with them with some energy healing, so blessing them with some energy. And then I'll be able to sell some to clients if they're interested. And I've just been out and I've got a few bits and bobs while I've been out and about. But I've got these stickers which are handmade with love. There's 36 for £1, which is a bargain, from The Works over here in the UK. They're a British company, so you probably won't find them in the US. But yeah, so this is what I'm on with. So I thought, well, while I'm doing these, I thought, well, why not start up a live, see who's about, and see if anybody wants to chat and see what I'm on with. And if nobody jumps on, nobody jumps on. It is what it is. Yeah, so these stickers say, they're all different ones. They say handmade with love. And I did get a bit of oil on the actual bottle, so I'm hoping that they do stick okay, because you know what it's like when things get oily, that they don't stick very well. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm on with. I've been out this morning and had a walk up to drop my partner off up at work where he works, and then wandered back and popped into town and bumped into a few people, chatted to them, went to town and got these few bits that I needed to start making these up, and then saw a few more people, other people, and eventually wandered back home. So already this morning by about 20 past 10 I'd already done just over 11,000 steps. So I thought, that's pretty good going. That's my steps in for the day. Thank you very much. So I'm on a bit of a mission at the minute to get my steps in for the day. So I'm wanting to try and get at least 10,000 steps a day, which is the golden number that they often talk about. And good morning, Milk for a Snack. I followed your, I don't know if you noticed, but I did find your YouTube channel and I followed it, I subscribed to it, The Thinkerer. So I did manage to find it and subscribe to it. And I did comment as well to let you know, just in case you saw your numbers go up and it was or wasn't me. Do I live in a large town or a small town? It's fairly large, to be fair. I don't know how many people live here. I think it's around about 180,000 people live in this town, so it's quite a big town. But yeah, but this is what I'm on with at the minute currently. It's my little looks like a specimen sample but so I've just done one, and that is going to be, that one is frankincense that's in there. So I need to find, actually I could just write on the ticket, couldn't I? I could just put a little F. But how are you today? How are you doing? How are you keeping? I hope everybody's well. Thanks for jumping on the live. If you're new here, you've not been here before, my name's Ian, and this channel's it's a bit of a community really, but this channel is all about Reiki, hypnotherapy, meditation. There's different meditations, Reiki sessions on here. That's what I do. That's my business, Reiki Zen. And that's what the channel used to be called, and then I've changed it to the Reiki Journey, and it just kind of covers a broad spectrum, because I realized that when the channel was called Reiki Zen, it was very hard to find, because there's that much stuff about Zen and there's that much stuff about Reiki and mindfulness. It was kind of like getting lost in everything else. So I decided to change the name to the Reiki Journey to make it a little bit more discoverable. I used to be good at handling all things mechanical. Yes, I noticed on your videos. I often think about the dynamics of large towns, like how people sort of have to just keep trucking. In a small town, I'm guessing there's some more to come. It's interesting, isn't it, how people just kind of like just plod on with whatever's going on in life, and they don't really think much more about it. Everyone's usually in their own little world, but whereas in like a small community, in a small town, everyone tends to know each other's business, don't they? In a small town, people tend to not be so open-minded, but they seem to be able to stop and help when needed. I worry that in a large town, my energy will go every which way or something. Yeah, probably something. Yeah, I agree with that. The dynamics of large towns. The thing is as well about large towns, what I find is they're all like sort of different sections, and that's kind of like how they kind of like evolve. But then different sections of large towns become known for different areas and different types of people, and that area of the town, you don't go there because there's a lot of trouble that goes there, and that area of the town's for that, and but I think after a while it all starts to get a little bit blurred, because everyone's kind of like in the same boat after a while, and I think that community spirit that you're talking about, like in small towns, is something that we really need to get more of. And I think with the age of social media the way it is, YouTube, doing a YouTube live, and doing maybe things like school accounts and what have you, where you can join communities, it's a real great way of this kind of like new age of being, of creating community, but obviously across the globe, because you can connect with people wherever they are in the world. And I think that's quite powerful. It really is powerful. And there's power in people. I know we talked about a little bit about that the other night, didn't we? Where there is power in there's power in people, there's power in community, there's power in togetherness, there's power in peace. And that's why a lot of the systems that we have in place aren't geared towards togetherness and peace and compassion and joy. And there's a lot of stuff that just wants to keep everyone living in fear and not being at peace with where they are in life, and not being at peace with themselves. If you can make people not be at peace with themselves, then that creates the very reality of what's around them. They then want to try and find peace externally by doing the various things like buying whatever, or consumerism. Social media is huge for that, because it makes people think, oh, well, they've got that and they're living this perfect life and yada yada yada, but I haven't got any of this. And it's quite sad, because people are still conditioned to look externally for happiness. because we've been so cleverly programmed. We really, really have. Yeah, exactly. Small communities. Hey, Cheryl, welcome, one of my cherished members. You've just woke up. It's 6:40 a.m. over there. Well, good morning to you, my lovely. I hope you're well. I hope you slept. How have you slept? How has everybody slept? Because the last few nights, for me, have been really, really kind of unsettled. But I think it's because we've had such a powerful lunar eclipse, the blood moon as well, that they've called it. Did anybody see it? I don't think you could. I don't think you could see it in the US. You slept for 10 hours. Wow, go you. well done. I slept for, well, on and off really last night and the night before and the night before that. But yeah, just really, really weird night sleeps lately. I'm trying to look at your comments, but I'm also trying to focus on not getting essential oil everywhere. So bear with me, because it's a bit like target practice, this. It's I could do like a little funnel or something. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You've been doing lots of physical work, ready for winter. Yeah, hunkering down. Are you feeling the autumn vibes, Cheryl? The nights are certainly starting to close in over here now in the UK. It's certainly changing quite rapidly. Do you like the autumn? Do you like hunkering down for the dark nights? I know I do. I love hunkering down for the dark nights. Nice, quiet, snuggled, keeping warm, jumpers, hot soups with crunchy, crusty bread, and yeah, stews. I love all that sort of wholesome stuff. Hot chocolate, yeah. I had some hot chocolate last night, actually, before bed. Didn't help me sleep, but I had some hot chocolate. We've been getting this, what's it called? I can't remember it's like a brand hot chocolate, but it's what am I making? I'm making essential oil rollers. So this is grapeseed oil, the finest grapeseed oil I'll add, and at the minute I'm using frankincense. So these are frankincense rollers. So basically to roll on palm of your hand, rub it together, rub it on your third eye or around your ears, whatever. But yeah, they're it's a nice little addition, I think, and I'm gonna bless them with some Reiki energy to help them. This one's going to be kind of like, because it's frankincense, it's going to be more of like an awakening one. So it's going to be good for the third eye. But I bought a load of essential oils off Temu, and yeah, so there was essential oils. There was these that I bought, these little things, and then they came with the little rollers that go inside. And I've been and bought these little handmade with love stickers. I got the grapeseed oil. I also got a couple of bits for setting up some new client packs. So when you're an in-person client with me, you get a little journal, you get a pen, an eye mask, an affirmation card, and a couple of incense sticks and a couple of little tea light candles. So it's all based around anxiety and meditation and using things that can help you just kind of decompress and just calm down. So that's what I've been doing for new clients lately, is giving them a little introductory pack to the world of wellness and mindfulness. And also, if you book online with me as well, I'll send you a downloadable PDF file which helps you give tips on managing anxiety. So anxiety is massive, for so many people, and that's why I've started a school as well, a community over on Skool, which is free to join. The link should be in my descriptions box, and on there, like I say, I've just started it, but I'm going to start building a community on there to be able to support people and help people with a lot of the content will probably come from here, but obviously over there you've got more of a private, close-knit, can't even say it, close-knit community where people can actually communicate one-to-one, which is a bit nicer. But I think on here now, we've got the community tab on here on the channel, so you can actually interact with other subscribers and members of the channel as well. Obviously Cheryl that's here at the minute, bless you Cheryl, you're one of the members on the channel. So thank you for being such a long-term member. You're always there, you're always watching, you're always commenting on my videos and keeping track of things. So thank you for being you, basically. But yeah, if you want to join the membership on the channel, there's 2 levels of the membership currently. There's one where you get the early access, the sneak peeks, and then the other one where you can join me on a Telegram group, and we can connect one-to-one on that level. And I'm still getting my head around how to logistically manage how to do the one-to-one. So it'll be through Telegram, but maybe through like a Zoom connection or something like that, and maybe just do like a Zoom chat, maybe like once a month or something like that. So I think the early access membership is $3.99 a month, and then the other one for the one-to-one is $6.99 a month. It's like dollars, so it's not a lot of money really. So it's just but it's like I was saying to somebody yesterday, it's like the energy exchange so I give a lot of free time and a lot of free advice through the channel, through videos, through meditations, through questions that I see or questions I get asked. I answer them through the channel to give you guys more of an idea of what's what and my way of thinking. So then, it just repairs. So the energy exchange is either by subscribing, liking the video, liking the live, or sharing or joining the membership or doing the super thanks. You love autumn and have many great memories attached, but it's like a wave. Here it comes. Brace yourself. But lately, I have to brace myself for many things. I catch a scent and it's like woo. Yeah. Do you find that you kind of like get swept away with things quite easily, and taken into different directions, where sometimes you feel like you want to be more focused and grounded in where you are, but you're quite easily pulled away into different avenues? Is that what you mean by that? Is it kind of like the way your brain works currently, like a bit of kind of like the monkey mind? because I totally get it. You know, I totally get it. I'm very much like that. I'm very much your. I mean, obviously, you know a lot of my past. If you've been here for a while, you know I used to suffer a lot with anxiety and what have you. So I was very much always all over the place, and that's why, you know, anxiety and mental health is a big part of what I work with in the business now. People that do struggle with anxiety, depression, mental health, panic attacks, and just also just change of life situations. Because when this stuff comes about, it knocks you for six. It pulls the rug from under your feet, and you don't know how to pick yourself back up again. So a lot of the therapies and stuff that I use is about regrounding and building on that, getting that stability through Reiki, through meditation, through mindfulness, getting that stability, that focus of mind and body connection, and then you can gradually start to build up through the layers of that to become more complete within. So what I practice Reiki, hypnotherapy, emotional freedom technique, the EFT tapping, obviously meditation, mindfulness, breathing, breath work. I like to do a little bit qigong as well. I do that sometimes, and I'm also a personal trainer. So it's very much about bringing the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, and the emotional body together. So it really is kind of like a whole holistic package that I work with. So when I'm working with, especially with new clients, obviously clients that have been with me for a while, I kind of like know who they are and where they are and what they're working with. But new clients, I always want to like find out, okay, so what's the sleep like? What's the diet like? What's the behaviors like? What's the patterns like? I try to get as deep as I can to find out as much as I can, so I know then how to cater my services for them. And if I can't fill all the gaps with what I do, I know other therapists and I know other practitioners that I can think, right, they'll be perfect for them. I'll sort of get in touch with them, and I'll cross over the work with them. So yeah, it's all about balance, and it's all about giving and taking, you know. So, and I had this conversation with somebody yesterday about who was wanting to like kind of like build a business and what have you. And it's all, I've said, it's all about give and take. Everything in life is about energy. At the end of the day, everything is energy. Sometimes trying to get that across is kind of like a hard concept to talk about. You can see I've lost weight and I look great. Thank you very much. I have lost weight. I've lost since I started, which was a year ago in April. I've lost about 2 stone, which is in what you might understand is around about 28 pounds, I think, in US. You might, I don't know how the US, is it kilos or pounds that you work in, but yeah, which is good, you know. I certainly don't want to lose any more. I'm about where I'm at, but now I'm on kind of like I'm wanting to keep fit, to keep my fitness up. So I'm trying to get lots of steps in. So by about 10:30 this morning, I'd already done 11,000 steps. And then I'm also doing more training at home, like weight training. I haven't got loads. I've got like a few dumbbells and what have you. So I'm doing a little bit of work at home as well to just keep myself and try and build a little bit of muscle. Looking at my diet, what I've been eating, what I haven't been eating, what I should be eating. Because even though, you know, like I say, like I'm a personal trainer, I still like eating shit now and again. So, but that's it's part and parcel, isn't it? You can't have everything. It's like you can't be so disciplined at everything. Well, you could be, I suppose, if you really wanted to be, but it's what's an interesting mix? Chamomile and lavender. What do you think that's going to be good for? Your sleep has gotten stranger. I used to be blessed with super sleep abilities, and now one of the most noteworthy issues I have noticed is that when I take a short nap, I always wake with a panic. That's interesting. Or anxiety feeling in your car, and it fades in a minute or two. That's really interesting, that, because yesterday I was having this business discussion with somebody that works in a local town that's struggling and need a little bit of advice. So we got together and I was trying to like find out where they're at and what's going on and what have you. And we were chatting away, and we were chatting for just under an hour or whatever, and then we kind of like parted ways. But just before we came to part ways, I had this overwhelming feeling of just like dread, like a dread feeling come over me, and I was like, where's this? Where the hell's? But the place that we met up in was in this coffee shop, and the coffee shop is where I used to work in years ago, where I found out about Reiki, and the coffee shop is very, very haunted. So then part of me was thinking, so is it the energies that's in there have found out that I was there and sort of like honed in on me, because they used to follow me all over the place. Or was it something else in there? I don't know. But that feeling of dread that was with me, it was with me for a good few hours after that. It was really, really strange. And I had to get out of there. And I was walking back home through town, and I just kept getting these waves. And I'm thinking, I just felt like I was going to either pass out or collapse. I just felt so like, oh. And people are like looking at me, so I don't know if I looked a bit like sort of spaced out or whatever, but I just didn't feel there. I didn't feel like connected to myself. It felt like there was something going on that I just couldn't really put two and two together. So then I managed to get home and did some sort of like some breath work and did some Reiki on myself and just got myself centered. And then it all sort of like, it went away, but then last night it came back a little bit again. So I did some more Reiki on myself, and eventually it went away. And today I feel fine, but it was really bizarre yesterday. Yesterday was a really weird day. So I kind of get that. I get that, where sometimes you'll just kind of like get into this sudden feeling of panic, but it's being able to manage that, isn't it? It's being able to reground and bring it back down, and if you don't have the tools or the techniques, you can get so lost in it, which is what I used to do. I used to get so lost in it years ago, and I used to get so badly affected by it. So I totally understand where you're at, and it's horrible. It really is. It's about the body feeling good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's, your body is your temple. Your body is what carries your soul, and your body is what carries you. So if your body doesn't feel right and it's out of whack, it's going to affect everything. So the mind, body, spirit connection, it's about everything being in balance. It's not just about like focusing one area. So if you focus just on the body, you're going to be so heavily into your masculine energy, and you're forgetting about your feminine energy. If you just focused on your feminine energy, you're going to be so in your spiritual and emotional side of things that you're not going to be able to balance out the physical side. So it's about just bringing balance to everything. It really is. It's a balancing act. You're getting better at looking around when I feel strange waves instead of rushing to rid them, but I am new to all of this. Well, that's what you're here for. So we're obviously meant to meet on that live that we did the other day. Because we had some really, really wonderful connections between you and I think it was another viewer called Laura. And, they were going through a similar thing. And everybody that comes on a live and everybody that watches the videos and how we connect, we all connect and communicate when it's right for us. We meet the right people when it's right for us. We meet who resonates at that crucial juncture of our lives. And it's like from what we were saying the other night, you're at a very crucial juncture as well. You're going through a bit of what seemed like, what I described maybe a little bit of a midlife crisis sort of thing. and it's a very interesting age where a lot of people do go through that. Um, I went through a lot of that, but I went through like, mine was in waves and phases. Mine was really bizarre. So when I was in my early 20s, I just felt really low and really empty, and didn't really know what life was about, didn't really know who I was, trying to find myself and identify with myself. So very, very disconnected, but just kept going and kept powering through. And it was all about, for me back in those days, it was all about, again, the external stuff. It was about going out, it was about getting drunk, it was about smoking, going out goodness knows how many nights a week, and thinking that's what everybody else does, and that's the way we manage it. And then as you get older, you become a little bit wiser, and then you realize that that you're feeling a certain way, and some things just don't add up. And then you think, well, I'm feeling like this, but I feel like my world's falling apart. But these other people, I thought everybody felt exactly the same as me, but they were just managing things better. And then I noticed something on social media, ironically enough, when social media is actually quite useful. I noticed something on social media about mental health, and it was saying how you can feel a certain way. You can feel these certain emotions if you're going through anxiety or depression and what have you. And then I looked at it and I watched it, and it was a video, and I was like, that is just how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. And then I started putting two together, and that's when pennies started to drop, and I thought, okay, there is something more going on here. And that's when I started meditating. I met a friend. Again, the universe, how the universe works. The universe sent me somebody who was a friend of my brother's, but we became quite close friends, and he introduced me to meditation, and that just opened my mind to so much more. And I realized that where I was working, the people, the managers and stuff that were around me were very, very negative, and I had to leave there. So I left there, and I went to work in this coffee shop, which is the one I mentioned earlier. And it's in there that I found out about Reiki. So meditation and Reiki were the pillars for me changing my trajectory in life. They really were. I'm going to say something vulnerable. One of my biggest things I have to work on is entering my body. I am not cozy here. Have sexual shame and Lord knows what else. But I can promise that I am just trying to work on myself, not just here to dump on people. Well, honesty is the best first step that you're taking. You're being honest with yourself. You're aware of where you're at. You're aware of what's going on. And, you are doing the doings. You're showing up. You're aware of what you're feeling. You're aware of your emotions. You're aware of when things are cropping up and what you're feeling. So the feeling is healing. The feeling of things that you're going through is having a very, very healing effect on your mind and body, and a very big spiritual healing as well. A lot of spiritual healing going on because it's coming from the very center of you. And that is one of the things as well that I talk about a lot on this channel is, finding that center, finding that spark, finding that bright light, finding your spirit, finding your very essence of what makes you tick. When you start to find that essence and you start to shine from your soul, and you're kind of getting out of here, more into your heart, and getting into your actual soul energy, which is where your heart is, then that's when a lot more truth comes forward, and also that's where a lot of more healing comes forward, because the heart is such a powerful emotional center that we overlook, and it is so much more powerful than the brain. There's much more energy and electric activity that goes through the heart that powers everything. It's your powerhouse. It's really your center for everything. Yeah, you use your brain for your analytical stuff and whatever, and it controls your functions and your nervous system. But if we don't have heart activation, then we kind of like, again, when I talk about these layers that we work through, the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, if you're not in that, in the heart space, then you're missing the emotional part of yourself. So you really need to connect more to that heart space. So feel it to heal it. I found it to be very, very true. Absolutely. Yup, if I can get through the healing properly, then I think I'll be sort of proud of the scars, yeah? I get glimpses of healing and a deeper love, and these free samples were enticing, to say the least. Yeah, every now and again, you get like a little glimpse, don't you? It's like there's a lightness that waves through you. And that's real soul activation, that when you feel that lightness, that's you connecting to yourself on a much, much deeper level. That's your God energy, your source energy, the universal energy. I had this a few times actually when I worked in a supermarket, and I was just building the business up, and it was probably the first maybe year and a half, and clients were kind of like coming and going and weren't like, there was no consistency. And so I was like, my mind was going, how can I get more of this? How can I get more clients? How can I do this? How can I do that? And I started just going down the monkey mind, as you do. And then I had this sort of like voice in my head just said, stop all of that. Stop all of that thinking and surrender. Just let go. And I had this wonderful wave of just energy that just flowed through me, and I just felt something lift off me, like a lightness just lifted off me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, just let it go, stop chewing and getting stressed out over things that you can't control. And once I had that, and that's kind of like stayed with me, and I still get layers of that sort of like chewing on, and then I have to take a step back and remind myself, just let go, just stop, because the more you get stuck in that, you kind of like you're blocking this, and it's that you need to connect more to. I lived most of my life in logic, and that did not serve me. I need to not only go off emotion though either, a balance per usual. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying before. It's a balancing act. So you need to have critical thinking. You need to have a logical mind, but you also need to be heart-centered to connect. So that's your mental, heart-centered for your emotions. Your heart center takes you deeper into your spiritual body, so then you become more spiritually awakened. And then after you start going through your spiritual awakening journey, then you start tapping more into, like what happened with me, you start tapping more into your physical. So you want to, I did a lot of the spiritual stuff and didn't really think about the body that much. But then it wasn't until I started actually connecting to the body. There's a dog coming in the room. It wasn't until I started connecting to the body that all the pieces started clicking together. I'm like, that's it. That is it. It's all about the integration of each aspect of ourselves, not just one. Oh, that smells quite nice, that actually. So that is lavender and chamomile. The thing about healing as well, healing is a very, very, when you step onto it, it's a very long journey. It's a very deep, integrated journey. And, I think many people think, oh, well, I've started, it'll be like maybe in a year's time, everything will be sorted. You know, and it's not like that at all. Once you start, it's kind of like you're taking the lid off something, but it's because you need to take the lid off something. And once you start, it's a really, really powerful journey. But yeah, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Breathwork helped me so much to get anchored in my body. I had no idea I was kind of not in my body for most of my life. Yeah, absolutely. Time and patience, absolutely. Did you have a period of time where you wish you did it sooner? Or did you feel like the timing was divine and not to be questioned? I feel like I wasted time still sometimes. That's to you, Cheryl. But you know what? I think looking back now, the timing was perfect. Everything happens when it needs to. You start your journey exactly when you need to start your journey, and not a day, not a month, not a year sooner. I think it can only happen when it needs to happen, when you start switching on within. Yeah, divine timing. And yeah, I wouldn't have. I think if my journey had started any earlier, I would have probably ended up with the same direction, but things wouldn't have happened as uniquely, I don't think, as they did. But maybe they would have done that, who knows. But then if we start thinking like that, we're taking ourselves directly out of the present moment and back into, well, what could have happened and how could it have been? What could have played out? How would life have been back then? You know, so straight away you're taking yourself out of the present moment and back into the what ifs, the buts, the maybes. So there's a lot of learning that goes on with that, and that element of surrender as well takes us directly back into the present moment as well, because the past and the future don't exist, and there's no way that they're going to help us right now. So the present moment is where we always need to be, because that's all there ever really is. I had a really interesting comment on one of my videos not so long ago, and they were saying, but the present moment doesn't exist because by the time you've entered it, you're already in the past. But that's because you're not in the present moment. So the present moment is forever unfolding. As soon as your mind has gone from, well, I'm not here now, I'm in the past, you're now out of the present moment. It's so subtle and it's so quick. But it just is. There's just an isness to it. And the deeper you go with your journey, you become more aware in the present moment of what's going on internally, of how you're feeling, your emotions. You're being able to work with your emotions. You were able to balance your mind and body connection easier by being directly in the present moment. I believe people do the best they can at each moment with the knowledge we have at the time. Yeah, we really can't do anything else. No, we can't. It just adds more pressure. I think that could be true. Like, this stage for me is vivid. If it happened earlier, it would have been not profound, I think. I just feel old, and I know of someone who seemed to have had it at age 21. And I get jealous, to be honest. And jealousy is rare and new to me. Yeah, I think the jealousy aspect is the jealousy aspect as well is, again, it's not in the present moment. It's something that I talk about all the time on the channel. because it's so powerful. But the jealousy aspect is there's an element within jealousy that is the emotion of regret, of that sort of energy, and it takes us to that person, that place, that situation of what could have been, of what may have been. But that takes us directly away from where we are now. It really is a balancing act. It's a balancing game. But once you start to stack up, you get your grounding, get your physical, get everything sorted in the physical reality and build up on that. Once you get your foundations grounded, everything flourishes from within. It's like the scale of consciousness. When you look at the diagram of the scale of consciousness, it goes through all the chakra colors. So it goes from red into orange, yellow, green, light blue, and up over to the crown chakra. And that's where, collectively in humanity, that's where we're all working through. There's still a lot of people that are in the lower end of the scale, the fear, but there is a lot of people that are now ascending that scale and becoming more powerful and true to themselves. I'm 55 years old and my healing journey only started about 6 years ago. I needed those life experiences first, I believe. Milk, you are rocking it. Yeah, you are. Absolutely. I think everybody is, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, whoever they are, whatever part of their life, they're exactly where they need to be. As long as you're kind of like start to learn to be present with it, you're exactly where you need to be. And sometimes that learning to be present with it comes later down the line, but it happens when it needs to. And as soon as you start to becoming present with it, it shines more light and awareness over your life and over your situation and over where you are. You get so much more clarity with that. Thanks for sharing that. Honestly, I know that some people are 60 when they start and some people wait until the next life to work on it too. I am ahead of the curve and should calm down. Yeah, I think we can all learn from that. I think we all need to just take a breath, just take a step back, just say, look, get a grip, get a hold of yourself. Look at where you are now, look at where you were, and look how far we've come. And a journey is as long as a journey takes. You can't force it, you can't push it, you're just with it. And as long as you're with it and you are the passenger and you are following that journey and you're doing everything you can, what you're learning from, then only wonderful things can happen. Only wonderful things can happen. Yeah. It's interesting, like how we get so caught up, don't we? We get so caught up in like, well, I want to be there, but you're here. You're here now. You can't be there and here. You can only be at one place. And people often become so fixated with the being there, then that's when people get a little bit lost in direction, in the way, because they're so fixated on the there that they're not in the now. It's a very, very, it's really kind of like paradoxical, really, I suppose, maybe is the word. So I'm going to do, so I've got a sleep one, I've got lavender and chamomile, and I've got a couple of frankincense. I've put a little F on that so I know what it is. I might do another, oh no, I'll tell you what I might do a, does orange and sandalwood sound nice? Do you think they'll go together? Sandalwood and orange, do you think they'll mix well? Cheryl, you use essential oils quite a lot, you'll know. What do you think? Sandalwood and orange? Yeah, society really has programmed us so well to look outside of ourselves. Yes, love both of those. Right, okie dokie. Let's do a sandalwood and orange. And then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go for some lunch, I think. I do love it when these conversations arise, you know, and it's we get kind of like the mental, emotional, and spiritual juices flowing. It's really good. It's really powerful. So, and I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Oh, that orange smells amazing. Ooh, that's a bit much in there, I think, but never mind. Got about 5 drops in that. It's really strong, Cheryl. The smell of the orange, it's lovely. Oh, that sandalwood's nice as well. I think that would be good. It's quite a. I think they would be quite a nice masculine blend. I was thinking of orange and patchouli as well. What do you think about that? Orange and patchouli, they would be good. I think they'd be a really nice masculine blend. What do you think? Orange is great for anxiety. Oh no, I didn't know that. Sandalwood is grounding. It is. It's got a very earthy scent to it. It's lovely. It's really nice. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna dribble everywhere here. I think there's another dog coming in now. Oh no, it's the same one. Personally, you don't like patchouli. Now you see, I first off didn't like patchouli. I thought it was way too strong and powerful. But so you did sign up for the school thing. Can you brief on how it works? No, I'm still learning myself. So no, patchouli, I didn't think I would like it, but when I've put it on and it's been on for a while, it smells really nice. It's like a very masculine, florally sort of scent, and I think it will go really well with an orange. Yeah. So, school, I signed up probably about a month ago, and you get 14 days free, and after 14 days you get charged $9 a month, which, oh, that's lovely, which doesn't sound much, I know, but when you've got nobody, well, at the minute the community is free to join until I start getting it established and built up, and then I'm going to obviously put a charge on. So if you do want to join me over there on school, it's called the Healing Space, and you'll find like a picture of me in there. Then feel free to go over and join me over there. But there will be a school and a classroom and a community over there where there's going to be courses and videos from YouTube, but also there will be some videos that you can do as kind of like unlisted, where you can share them to other places. But it is quite hard to get your head around, because each community has its own kind of set of rules of how the owner wants to use it, the owner of that community. And you get points, you get levels, they're called. So when you get to, if you're quite popular in one community and your posts get liked and people respond, that's how you get points. when you get points and you get so many, then you go up in levels. But with each community, you start on level 1. It's really, really weird. So you have to basically build up your who you are, by your comments and your likes, by interacting in every single group that you're in. So it kind of like, it takes over your life a little bit, and it's something that I'm trying to get my head around about how to actually draw people in. Yeah, so it's kind of like tricky to work out at the minute. I'm still getting my head around it a little bit. And I see lots of new people that do join, and they're in exactly the same boat as what I was in, and still am in a little bit. But like I say, I'm a lot better than what I was with it, but I'm still by no means an expert, not at all. So yeah, it's just a learning curve, and I guess you just have to kind of like go with it and see what happens. But yeah, it's just one of them things, I guess. But one thing I have noticed on there, the actual communities and the people that are there are much more positive than those that you would find on the likes of Facebook and YouTube. And I think that's because you have to pay after so long to be on there. So there'll be a reluctance for people to join because they have to pay after so long. Orange and sandalwood. Whereas, people on Facebook and Instagram tend to be quite negative, or they will just take the piss out of people or whatever. Whereas on there, they do seem to be a lot more positive, which is good. That is a really positive part about it. And the people that are there to help and try to help you as best as they can. And then it's down to you to try and put the work in. But it takes, there's me and another guy that chat quite a bit on there. And he's over in the US. He's a personal trainer as well. And he says it's rock hard to get people to like sign up and actually pay. So it's going to get to a point where it'll be like, well, what am I paying for? Unless people actually join and do start and just pay whatever. There's some people that have communities on there and that they have kind of like, I don't know, like 500 people in their community, but it's like $97 a month or something like that, and I'm guessing these people are paying it. So there must be something in it. There must be something that does work, but it's just trying to get my head around it at the minute. Coffee and Ian's good vibes, making it a great start to the day. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Beautiful soul. I love barriers of entry, to be honest, but I won't currently be able to afford the fee when it comes, so I'll just do what I can when I can. Yeah. To be honest with you, with what's gone on with me recently, which I'll let you into a little bit of my own personal life a little bit. So I used to coach at a gym in town, and then bizarrely and out of the blue, he decided to end my contract last month in August, and he paid me till the end of August, and then that was it. It was kind of like I was gone. So currently I'm just working with, obviously my partner helps me out a lot financially, so thank God for him, really. But I'm now just currently working with Reiki clients, whatever other clients that I work with, hypnotherapy or whatever. I don't have any PT clients. I went for an interview at a gym. There's a group in the UK, I don't know if they're global or whatever, but they're called the Gym Group. So I went for an interview there, And the interview was fine, very informal, lovely gym, lovely people, lovely staff, but the pay was like really weird. So basically you worked your hours, you got paid on the 28th of that month, then on the 1st of the next month they take 95% of your pay back off you, because that is your rent for trying to get more clients, to get more PT clients. So in effect, if you don't have enough revenue coming in, then it's not sustainable. So I was like, well, I can't do that. So at the end of this month, on the 24th, I've got an interview with the council to become a bank kind of as and when coach for the sports centres in town through the council, which might work really well for me, because then I can just kind of like do it as and when and work my client work around it. So that might be quite a positive move. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But that, when he cancelled my contract in August, I was just like, he was just being an absolute arsehole. I was just like, why are you being such a dick? And he didn't like the fact that I was coaching at another gym, even though my contract said I was free to coach wherever, I was freelance. There was just different things like that. I was just like, oh, you know what? Fuck off, basically. I just couldn't be arsed with him. So, yeah. People are struggling financially in the US. Yeah, I think it's everywhere. I think the financial system it's so close to collapse, for this digital currency to come through, because they're really trying to push that in the UK at the minute. And, there's a lot of people that are spreading the word, don't do it, be aware of it, be aware of digital currency, just stay away from it, because once that comes in, they've got control of everything. They really have. But again, I'm trying not to get pulled into it. I'm trying to keep my positivity, keep the vibes high, keep grounded, focus on me, focus on my world, because my world is, it reflects what goes out. And that's all we can do as a collective, as a collective in humanity. We need to focus on ourselves individually, and as we become more brighter, if we become more harmonious, we become more balanced, we're doing the healing work, we're doing what we can, where we can, and we're keeping ourselves in a nice vibrational state so we can shine that positivity outwards into the world, then that's all we can do to help the planet, help the earth, help the vibration, help humanity, help the collective, and raising this consciousness. But the consciousness now and the awareness in people is so high that I think it's too late. I think I'd said this years ago, but we'd already won. We had already won during COVID. During COVID, it happened. We'd crossed the threshold, and that many people had woken up to what's really going on, the systems that are in place, the conditioning that we've been under, this programming that so many people have been under, and we're all unraveling that programming. We're unraveling that conditioning to become so centered, so high vibed, so focusing on ourselves that this is why it is a spiritual battle, because it's all about energy. If our energy is high and our vibration is high, and we're working towards that, we're making positive shifts in the global frequency and in the collective frequency, which is what is affecting everything out there. And that's why they keep pushing more and more and more shit onto us. Immigration, digital currency, this, that, all that bullshit. I don't have any connection to it. I just keep it out of my auric field, my stratosphere. I keep my ear on the ground, and I look at little bits, but I just don't let it. I try to keep myself as grounded as possible, and sometimes I have to just shut stuff off and get into my world, which is this is this, and talking to you guys, talking to wonderful souls around the world that are experiencing and healing and going through the whole process, the whole 9 yards, because we're all in it together. We're all here to love one another and support one another and be there for one another. So if we're going to do anything, just be nice to each other. Just spread love, spread compassion, spread joy. And that is the most powerful thing you can do. It really, really is. And I love you guys so much. I really, really do. And this channel and doing these lives and connecting with so many wonderful souls, it bridges so many gaps. It bridges so many connections. And again, that's why they want to go for the whole electric thing. They want to go for the whole digital thing, because they can just shut you off with a flick of a switch. So, we can't allow that. That will not happen. It will not happen, because people have the power. And we're seeing it globally, where people are just saying enough is enough. We're being pushed too far. So, yeah. Wonderful times. It can be worrying times if you allow it to rock your boat. But stay grounded, stay rooted, stay strong, stay heart-centered. And you are the power. You are the powerhouses of the world, of your own world, and that is what creates the power and the unity of the world that is around us. And that's why we're all here. That's why we connect here. I haven't watched the news kind of ever. I used to feel guilty for it, but not anymore. It is, I don't know, just a bad feed. It is. That's all it's there for. It is just there to create fear, to brainwash, to manipulate, to program. As soon as you start lifting the veil off, I mean, I've never really watched the news. I used to watch the news when my parents watched it as a kid, but other than that, I've never bothered. Never felt a connection to it. And as soon as I go over my parents and they've got the news on, I can feel the room, the vibe in the room, and I'm just thinking, oh, fucking hell, turn it off, But yeah, it's just, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's the magic. That's the magic and the power that we have. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I want to honor the other people's struggles, but I think I can do that in better ways than watching the news. Yeah. Just don't spread yourself around too far, just focus on you. Focus on you, focus on your world, focus on where you are, and get yourself in the most peaceful, loving, compassionate, joyful state that you can get yourself in. And you are there, you're on that journey, you're aware of it. It's within reaching distance. It's already there within you. It just requires a few tweaks here and there. Never watch too much either. No, milk, indeed you can. Focus on you. Listen to Ian. Well, yeah. But it's just stuff that I've learned. At the end of the day, we're all our own teachers. But if it helps somebody, if it helps one person, if what I've done helps one person, then I've done my job. I have. I'm not here to pander to millions of people. Okay, it would be great financially. It would be amazing to have all those views and what have you. But if I can connect to one person, one soul, and it has an effect, I've done my job. And that's all it's about. It's just about helping one person at a time. And we have to start with us. We start with us. We start here. And then we evolve beyond that. We really do. The reason lately I don't just focus on me is that I feel well-rounded as an individual when I hear others out. So I'm trying to do that balance. Yeah, that's good. It's good to have that balance. It's good to have that little bit of time to sort of step out yourself, see to other people, come back. I do that a little bit. I do that quite a lot, obviously, because it's my job. It's who I am. But I also have boundaries, and you have to learn boundaries, and you have to say, right, that's not my time anymore. This is now my time. And that took me a couple of years to work out that as well, because I used to have clients that would message me all the time. And I'm just like, I would just like because I want to help everybody. But over the years, you come to realize that you can't help from an empty cup. So you have to kind of cut that cord and just create that little bit of a boundary. Yeah, little ripples, absolutely, little ripples. Milk, I'm sorry to be... can you just remind me of what your name is? I've totally gone blank. I know you did tell me the other day when you were on, but I don't want to keep calling you Milk. I want to... And I know your other channel was called The Thinkerer, which I've subscribed to and followed, but I want to make a note of your name so I don't forget it, because obviously there's that many people that I connect with throughout the week and throughout the month that I just like, my memory is just shocking. It really is. I know you're Cheryl. Cheryl, I know you're Cheryl. But yeah, what is your name, Milk? Just remind me on. I'm going to make a note of it so I don't forget, because you're a really wonderful soul, and I really love talking to you and hearing where you're at, and you really do open great conversation as well. And I've loved this this dynamic that we've had today. Alex, that was it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Alex, in brackets, next to the Thinkerer, and milk for a snack. Yeah. I even drew a bucket with a crank in the bottom and sent it to a friend who was struggling with herself versus others. And I said, fill your bucket, then pour over after mending the crack. Ah, interesting. The changes within, which changes your perspective, hence the world you see changes. Poor, not poor. Yeah, I got it. Much love, Alex. Yeah. Right, guys, it's been absolutely amazing chatting, but I'm starving now. It's been hard work, this. All this energy that's been flowing. I'm hungry. So if you've just joined, if you've not been here before, please do. Hi, ACJ. Long time no see. Hi, Ian. Thanks for this live. It's helping me while I'm cleaning the house, ready to move. Oh, bless you. Have a beautiful... I hope the move goes... what's the word? Swiftly and fluidly. I really hope it does. Thank you, Cheryl. You have a beautiful day. Thank you as well, Alex. Beautiful brother. Thank you very much for being here. If you're just new here, please subscribe to the channel. It's been wonderful to connect. And, you know... like the lives or like the video if you're watching this at a later date, and I will see you in another video soon. And if you feel drawn to join the membership or whatever, feel free to do so, and all of my links are always in the descriptions box for my social media and my website if you want to get in touch for any distance healing, Reiki, hypnotherapy, which is all done via Zoom. Please do get in touch, feel free, and I will see you, a lovely lot, again soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye.